Monday. Today is May 11th, 2020. I hope all of you had an amazing weekend. I hope you had a great Mother's Day, celebrating all the women in your life. That includes mothers, grandmothers, godmothers, aunts. I hope that it was a special time for all of you. All right, as we move into writing this week, we are going from letter writing to the fabulous, wonderful world of poetry. Now, before we move into poetry, I have a couple shout outs for the last day of letter writing last week. So these friends wrote such sincere advice letters. And what I mean by that is I could tell that they really reflected on what they needed help with, who would be the best person to ask for help with that specific thing, how they were going to ask them, and why they wanted the help so badly. It showed how much they care. It showed they included all parts of the letter. It showed that they were thinking about their spelling as they stretched out their writing, thinking about their punctuation. All right. So we are going to give a quick shout out to Darbins, Joshua, Jaylene, Gia, Marquise, Sophia, and Gabriel. We're going to take a look at their work on the screen. Again, you can always pause this video and look at what your friends are doing to learn before you write your letter today. We grow best together, and we all have something to teach each other. Let's take a look now. Today is also the first day of Rainbow Week. Today is Monday, so we are wearing red or pink. As you can tell, I'm already ready in my red dress, all comfortable and ready to go. If you don't have your red or pink outfit on, you can pause this video and go get it and put it on. If you're thinking, I have no idea what day I'm supposed to wear what colors, I'll put the flyer up on the screen now. For today's lesson, you're going to need only one piece of paper. You can grab a blank piece of paper and we'll draw the lines on together. You could grab a lined piece of paper from a notebook or some filler paper, such as mine, or you will have the printout from the Google Drive. You'll have one of those and your paper should be set up like this. Now I'm going to explain each part, okay? So this top line is going to be for your title. Where it says a poem by, you are writing your name. This space here is for a picture that you're going to draw about your poem. And these lines are for your poem. All right? You're going to make sure your paper is set up like this so it's nice, neat, and organized. And again, we're giving ourselves enough space to express our creativity. Once you have that, you will grab your pencil. In this case, Miss Andrews always uses her pen, but you are using a pencil. Go ahead and grab those things and we'll get ready to get started. All right, my little loves, I'm super excited to be going into poetry with you guys because we know that poetry is a celebration of our words, of our sounds, using our senses to write and to read poetry. Poetry always comes from the heart, and it shows people how they're feeling in so many different ways. All right, now I'm going to put up a couple poems on the screen, and as you're looking at these poems and reading them out loud to yourself, yes, I want you to read them out loud to yourself, I want you to think, what is present in all of these poems? What do I notice that all of these poems have in common? All right, take a look at the screen and we'll bring it back together. All right, give them to me. What did you notice? Yes! I know someone out there got it. Someone noticed the rhythm. For those of you who do not remember or just need a fresh reminder, rhythm is known as the regular, repeated, we know that's when something happens over and over again, pattern. We've learned lots of patterns this year of beats, sounds, activities, or movements. So if we're thinking about rhythm and thinking about sounds and the moves we do, right? We know that there is rhythm in dance, in certain sports, right? There is rhythm in songs, in music, but there's also rhythm in poetry, all right? We noticed that through, what was the other thing you may have seen? That's right, these poems rhyme. Now we know when something rhymes, it has the same middle and ending sound. Moo, blue, they both say ooh. Cat, mat, they both say at. We are going to write our own rhyming poems today. All right, as we begin our rhyming poems, I want you to think about how you're going to express yourself today. And to think about that, you want to think about what you're going to be writing about. Whatever you're writing about is going to come from the heart. The person reading the poem is going to learn something from you. Now in poetry, the person that writes the poem is called a poet. In writing, normally we're called authors, but in this case, we are poets. Right? So take out your paper and your pencil. and we're going to get started. When thinking of your title, that actually can be our last part, right? So we can think of the right title to match our whole poem. All right, now where it says a poem by, you're gonna write your name right in there. First and last name, as neat as possible. I'm gonna do mine. All right. Now as we get into our rhyming poem, yes, rhyming, we are thinking of how every line is going to rhyme or every other line is going to rhyme. Let's start by thinking of rhyming words. Okay, so if I have the word sky, what are some words that rhyme with sky? By, fly, my, sigh. Remember, words do not have to be spelled the same in order to rhyme. We're thinking about the sound. Okay, thinking about the sounds and thinking about what I want to write about. I got it. When you've got it, pick up that pencil, right? You're going to build it on your fingers the same way we were doing for letters. So here's my first line. Once you got it, write it down. Remember, in poetry, you do not have to use up all of the lines, and you do not have to start from the beginning all the way to the end. You do have to start from the beginning, and you're writing to however many words you're including in that first line. So mine has 3, so I'm going to start here and have the 2 ones after that. All right. Once you're done, put your pencil down. You're going to reread that line to yourself and make sure that it is a rhyme you can build off of as you continue to write your poem. All right, I'm going to read you my sentence out loud, my first one. Pam the ram, Pam, ram, they both say. All right, I'm going to read you my first line out loud before we write our second. My first line is, Pam the ram, Pam, ram, they both say. And that's correct. Now as we build our second line together, you're going to take out your fingers and you have your first line in your head as you build off of it. Now I'm feeling silly, so my poem is going to be a little silly. So here I go. I know that I have 4 words, so I'm making sure I'm giving myself enough space on the line. All right, once you have it, write that down word by word, stretching out the sounds to spell the word or spelling them from memory. After you've written down your second line, reread that line to yourself along with your first one and see if it makes sense and flows the way you want it to. Again, it needs to have that rhythm. All right, I'm going to read you my second line. Likes to eat ham. So all together it sounds like this. Pam the ram likes to eat ham. All right. Let's keep it going. We're going to do that same thing for our third line. Thinking of a word that rhymes with ham. All right. Take out your fingers. Here we go. I know that I have 4 words again in my next line. Once I have them, I'm gonna write. And same as the other one, once you're done, put it down, reread the whole thing, listening for how it sounds, seeing if it makes sense. All right, I'm going to read you mine. With Sam the Ram. So altogether it sounds like this. Pam the Ram likes to eat ham. With Sam the Ram. Now notice how I'm starting at the same point for each line, and I'm using the line for only the words that are in that line. All right, going into your 4th line, you're doing that same thing. Here we go. You know what to do. Down. Reread that to yourself. And when you reread to yourself, I want you to not only read that line, but I want you to read all the lines up until that point so you can hear that rhythm. So my 4th line is, who likes to eat jam? So all together from the beginning, my poem sounds like this. Pam the Ram likes to eat ham with Sam the Ram who likes to eat jam. I know some of you can hear the rhythm and the rhyme, and it might actually remind you of the nursery rhymes you heard as a little kid growing up. I know it does for me. All right, as we go into our next line, same thing. You have it. Put that thought down on the page. All right, once you're done, again, put that pencil down, reread the line, and then the whole thing through. Okay. I'm going to read you mine. I talked about Pam in my first one. This time, I'm going to talk about Sam in the next part of my poem. So my first line is, Sam the Ram. Okay. Now I'm going to draw in a few extra lines because I did not actually bring my poem to completion. That means I didn't finish it yet. And again, I'm doing that, which is an example of doing what I need to do to express myself as a poet. So if you need more space, make sure you're giving yourself that. All right, here I go with my second one. Once you have it down, write it down. All right, put that pencil down, reread the line, reread the whole thing through. So I'm going to do, since I'm including 2 parts in mine, I'm only going to do it from the beginning of the second part. So I have Sam the ram gives jam to Pam. All right, going into that third one, pick up your hands. All right. And when you put it down, do that rereading process. And going into our last one. All right, when you're finished, I want you to put your pencil down. I want you to reread your whole poem, listen for that rhythm, and make sure your ending words are rhyming. That means having the same middle and ending sound. You could be writing a poem about how you feel about someone or something, okay? Or you could be writing something silly just like I did. So I'm going to read you mine from the top. Just listening, just my voice right now. Here I go. Pam the ram likes to eat ham with Sam the ram who likes to eat jam. Sam the ram gives jam to Pam and Pam the ram gives ham to Sam. So it's what they like to eat and them giving it to each other. Thinking about what this poem is about, what are some ideas you could give me for a title? What is my poem about? Yes. It's about Pam the ram and Sam, who is also a ram. So my title, I'm going to say, is Pam and Sam. I'm not going to make it too complicated, guys. This is just what my poem is about, right? So right now your poem should look like this. And then here you could draw a picture if you want to. So I might draw a ram, right? This is the legs. Santa's not the best artist, especially when it comes to animals. Okay, I have my 2 little rams, Pam and Sam, right? And they love jam and ham. So I'm going to draw a little spiral ham. And we all know that, love that. And jam is like jelly, so I'm going to draw a jar. Right? Jam, put my labels. Maybe they're both laughing. I may draw some speech bubbles. Okay. Another thing is, when it comes to poetry, you don't have to draw out everything that happens in your poem in your picture. And the reason for that is the person that reads it could understand it in their own way, which is another really cool part of poetry. All right, I'm not going to get into too much detail with that because I don't want to spill the beans. So that is all we are doing for today, my friends. When you are done with your rhyming poem, you are going to take a picture and put it onto Seesaw. That is all for today, and I will see you tomorrow.